communicate with my birdies every morning. Hi, my name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, and I'm getting ready to start my day. I woke up a little late, and I made this really cool video that I want you to look in the description of this YouTube video to check it out. If it's not in there right away, just look for this. You'll find it. Anyways, I'm in San Diego, California, and I make my videos in order to inform, to expose the extreme criminality that's happening between to me and my fellow targets. And I want the fellow American citizens and fellow San Diegans to understand something. I'm a good woman. I don't break the law in any way, shape, or form. You would not believe what I have discovered over time in reference to who's responsible for the criminality that is happening towards me in my life and what I've witnessed before my literal eyeballs. Hang on. You know, anybody, no matter what country they lived in, whether it be the United States or any other country, if someone came into your home and took your home away from you, literally took your home away from you, stole all your property, wrecked your credit, got you in debt, exploited you sexually, exploited you neurally, infiltrated your family when you were a child, and turned them into criminals, set you up to be married to an individual who was part of the organized crime syndicate, and you had no clue, who ended up mating with you and then abusing you. Oh, you would not believe what I have been through. And I'm going to tell you something right now. The perpetrators that are directly connected to these criminal expeditions are directly connected to the military, the federal government, and how they have trickled their criminal protocols and templates and technological resources down to the local, state, and local governments. It's organized crime in the system. And they go after single women, single mothers, single men, people on disability, the elderly, veterans. Yes, all of it burns my ass. They're into all forms of racketeering, treating people like straw people, co-opting their existing finances that are left, co-opting their property, co-opting their land. Yes, even Agenda 21 is connected to organized stalking, which is also known as gang stalking. What else is connected to organized stalking? You can go to, I strongly suggest you go to YouTube and type in Jesse Ventura, The Brain Invaders Conspiracy Theory Show. Now, when you hear that, you might think to yourself, oh my God, I don't think so. It doesn't sound like a show that I would be interested in, especially like people that they just get up, like I used to, every day and either go to school or go to work and live their lives in a normal way, which is what I was doing and attempting to still do. And you might think to yourself, this sounds like science fiction. It doesn't sound like something I'd be interested in. I highly suggest that you don't. Now, if you went to the bottom of Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance, you would find this PDF link and a second one and actually a third one. All three are directly connected to organized stalking expeditions. And if you then look at the resources feature of the remote neural monitoring file or the remote behavioral influencing file, guess whose name you find? Robert Becker. Robert Becker is on the Jesse Ventura Conspiracy Theory Brain Invader show towards the end. He literally flats out states we're not being abused. The people who are targeted with these crimes, we're being tortured. Go to YouTube and type in Timothy W. Bioethics Issues. He talks about neurocognitive weapons, brain entrainment. And then go to Google and type in Macy Monroe. She was a congressional candidate for the 28th District, Beverly Hills, in the November 2012 elections. She was a targeted individual as well. Look at what's on number 2 of her priority list on her website. She talks about satellite technology, which is... Okay. Why would she mention the 13th Amendment and slavery in relation to remote neural monitoring? Because that's where the brain entrainment comes into play at. After these perpetrators take innocent people out of their homes, people that are responsible for these crimes, 90% of the time the target does not know who these people are. Total strangers who covertly destroy every single aspect of your life to put you out on the street for multiple motivations and aspirations, including human trafficking, non-consensual human experimentation, because they sell the research off of the fact that you're being remotely neurally monitored. Yes, where they're literally neurally monitoring your EEG fluctuations. And then they sell the research in reference to the harassment that a target experiences, because whenever a person, like say if you go to a mall with your wife, your husband, your son, your daughter, your mother, your father, whoever, and you get to the mall and a group of teenagers or a group of people start harassing you, people you don't know, how do you think that you would respond to it mentally, neurally? You would be angry, you would be a little bit frightened, you would feel hyper alert and hyper vigilant because you possibly got your kids with you or your wife with you and you're concerned for their safety. Well, this is the reason why they harass you, okay? Because they want your neural activity to engage in specific types of emotional states so they can harvest them, the EEG's fluctuations, while you're experiencing them as a result of remote neural monitoring you as these staged harassments are happening. They are then uploaded into a computer and harvested. Yes, non-consensual human experimentation. So they can take the EEG readouts, the fluctuations, the spikes, and record them in real time to beam back then at a totally separate individual. So he'll feel those brain states. Yes, when they're sleeping, when they first wake up. Yes, so they can be neurally compromised as the expedition is happening to them. This is in part what they're doing. My name is Leslie Williams. Look in the description of this YouTube video. I'm going to put this YouTube video on a blog eventually. You know, if you're just hearing this for the first time, I don't know what you're going to think. But you can also go to YouTube and type in, make sure to everything though, you got to look at the 3 PDF links I was talking to you about. You can also go to YouTube and type in Coast to Coast George Norrie and Roger Tulsis. Okay? And it's a radio interview of an organized stalking individual being interviewed on Valentine's Day 2013. You can YouTube this and listen to the entire thing. It begins, the targeted individual, the gang stalking, organized stalking targeted individual is interviewed at the beginning of the second hour for the next 2 hours. And when you hear him talk about artificial dreams that are beamed into the video cortex of targets, this is the technology that's responsible for it. Where they make high video definition productions. Yes, using either augmented reality scenarios or virtual reality scenarios or even possibly people that are connected to Hollywood. And listen to how that targeted individual was a screenwriter from movies in Hollywood. I make my videos to inform, to expose the truth concerning the factual reality that hundreds of thousands of Americans right now, in real time, are literally being tortured, and every area of their life is totally destroyed while we're kept isolated in these campaigns. Yes, so the campaign can continue in reference to the original motivation of the target, which means possible, more than likely, eventual institutionalization. We're set up to be jailed based on falsified bullshit. Yes, it's organized crime in the system. We're made homeless. You can go to Google and type in how homelessness is created of targets as one of the main objectives of organized stalking. How our cell phones are hacked and even used as GPS devices, and how our phone calls for help are even rerouted to them, and how the perpetrators will pretend to be the people we're calling for help so they can tell us we're not interested in your case. How they'll literally neurally influence lawyers will run to. Yes, because of the microwave hearing effect, and how a lawyer's voice can be voice morphed, put into the computer, and then psychological direction can literally even be transmitted into that lawyer's audio cortex using his voice in order to make him believe that he is not interested in your case when you approach him. Yes, John Hall calls them artificial thoughts. Go to YouTube and type in John Hall satellite terrorism. And these are the factual realities in reference to how they isolate targets in these campaigns. And if you honestly think that the perpetrators, part of the people that they use to harass the target, so the brain states can be fluctuated, so they can be recorded, they're also being neurally choreographed. Go to Google and type in Live Leak, Greg Skamansky, and Julian McKinney. I strongly suggest you listen to everything in that broadcast and then look at the text summary that summarizes what the broadcast is about. Julian McKinney, who's literally in the resources feature of the remote neural monitoring file that you can find at the bottom of Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance, says in the live leak broadcast, in the text summary, and in the broadcast, that the people that they're getting to harass targets like me are being neurally choreographed for future exploitation and control. Roger Tulsis talks about how they're literally getting people to do certain things in order to be able to set them up for eventual mind control. I make my videos to inform, to expose the truth of these factual realities in reference to these criminal expeditions that are happening to hundreds of thousands of law-abiding citizens who do absolutely nothing wrong. And here's another thing. They'll even try to get people addicted to drugs. Yes. Or they'll influence them to drink, have them go to a bar, put date rape drugs in their drinks, or put mind-altering substances in their drinks and wait until they get behind a car after they leave the bar and then have a syndicated organized crime police officer arrest them, send them to a self-help group that is directly run by perpetrators. A cult. Yeah. Where they can then be brainwashed to give up on their own thinking. So they can create, reinforce, and identify neural pathways that might be responsible for obsessive-compulsive disorders. Yes. Why do you think people go to self-help groups for obsessive-compulsive disorders? Because they're connected to the other criminals that are in the communities. Remote neural monitoring stimulation. I make my videos to inform, to expose the truth, so fellow Americans can know the truth for what it is. Thank you.